Here we go, here we go. Back with my brother. New year, new topics, a whole lot to dive into. Please welcome back to the platform, Sergeant Nicholas Irving.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Nick, what's the word, brother? It's good to see your face.
You too, you too. Crazy year so far, though, right?
Oh, my goodness, it's a crazy year. Yo, Nick, can you believe all that's going on in the world? It's so much that actually you can relate to. We're going to talk about bombs. They've got shooting. They got all kinds of craziness going on, especially with people who served in the armed forces.
Isn't it crazy? It's like, man, I don't know, man. I think when you put the, two and two together on my end, you have the vets or whatever who are conducting these little terrorist attacks or sending messages or whatnot. I think it's a wake-up call, or should be, for, not just America or the veterans, but America as a whole, to be honest.
Okay, Nick, we're into the first week of the new year.
Yeah.
Literally, I want to say it was New Year's night. An Army veteran drives his pickup truck down a crowded, Bourbon Street of all places.
Yeah.
There's literally hundreds of thousands of people celebrating, bringing in the new year.
Oh, yeah.
Did it shock you when you heard, number one, that, damn, the ball just dropped? And when all the discovery is done, it's an Army veteran.
It did not shock me that something would happen, or something did happen on New Year's. That didn't shock me. What kind of shocked me initially was the fact that it was an Army veteran, but he had a like the ISIS flag on the back of his truck. And when the report started to first come out, it was I thought it was an ISIS attack, or somebody who was influenced by ISIS or an affiliate or whatnot. And the reports are, at first there were multiple suspects they were looking for, working with this Army guy. But then you find out his background, and that's where I kind of got thrown for a loop. Like, no, this guy sat behind a desk, for his career, working at, I think, like human resources or something like that. He was stuck behind a desk for his career, and I don't know why I don't know if the, I don't know how people, I know how some people get PTSD. I don't know how, or what he's gone through to make him be the way he was, or he was just, I don't know, influenced by reading the Quran, or just being influenced by ISIS themselves or their belief systems. I don't know. That's weird.
You just said something that stuck out. Why, when you first heard that there was an attack, you immediately thought that it could be ISIS related or any of these foreign entities, whether it's Al-Qaeda or anyone else? Like, why was that one of the first thoughts that crossed your mind?
Honestly, because they're already here, I just saw a picture yesterday from Arizona, the Border Patrol in Arizona. They captured or seized some RPGs, like 2 or 3 RPGs that came across the border. So it doesn't shock me at all that I think we're due for one. I don't think that, I don't know. I think 2025 is going to be an interesting year when it comes to homegrown terror attacks, or even outside entities that have, come across the border, the millions that have come across the border. They've seized a lot of terrorists and weapons that come across the border. I just think it's a matter of time.
It's so interesting you say that, because the last time you and I sat down,
I remember that.
You actually predicted that there was going to be a terrorist attack on American soil. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I said in 2025. Yeah. When the ball, I remember that. Yeah. I was like,
do you,
man.
like, it was that, Nick, real talk, when this happened and we started to learn more about the attacker, immediately I thought of you. I'm like, yo, homeboy predicted this.
And I think we're at that point now. Now we're just going to have to sit back and wait for those sleeper cells or terror cells that are, over here to do their thing. But I 100% believe it's going to happen.
Really?
Within the next 2 years. Within the next 2 years, I'll say that. And if I'm wrong, good. But I think in the next 2 years, we're going to feel terrorist attacks here. 100%. No.
Like, it's day one. You actually said that there was going to be a terrorist attack in 2025.
All the writing's on the wall, man. You know, all of it's on the wall. I think that this was just the prelude or prelude to what's about to happen. I don't think that we've seen the end of it, though. I think that this was, and then of course, you have the copycats and stuff like that, too. But I think that it just showed everyone else who's already planning on doing something how easy it is going to be to do something in America. There's so many soft targets out there. You got bars, you got schools, you got malls, movie theaters, concerts. Then they have these, and what they call invisible bombs now that can go across metal detectors, not be detected, suicide vest. I think that's what is going to start happening. It's the ID suicide bomber style, terror attacks.
You know, I want to touch base on something you just mentioned before I lose this train of thought. And I'm sure you meant no disrespect to him.
Mm-hmm.
But the more you learned about the gentleman, and I believe you pronounce his name Shamsuddin Jabbar.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's how his name is pronounced. You said this guy was behind the desk.
Yeah.
You had, 5 or 6 tours of duty?
6 deployments, yeah.
6 deployments, 5 of which you saw combat. So if Nicholas Irving loses his mind and does something, people would probably be like, I could see that happening. The guy took lives. He's seen lives taken. He was in the trenches. Is it that surprising that somebody who had a desk job would suffer from PTSD and go on a rampage like this?
Yes, to me. Like, it's always weirded. I'm not going to say weirded me out, but I don't know. I don't know. I think that I see it from my perspective of what I've been through, and I don't think that I've been through, that much. I know guys with 10 deployments, 14 deployments, and so on. I've seen enough to, the average civilian wouldn't be able to handle. I've seen enough of that. I've seen one too many nightmares, but compared to like a guy who sits behind a desk, I know guys who sat behind desks and they never once stepped foot outside the wire. They've never once been shot at. They may have heard a story once or twice, but they're never in harm's way. So when people who claim PTSD, I guess I'm kind of, you can call it disrespectful. I don't know what happened in his career behind the scenes, but I just know sitting behind the desk wouldn't traumatize me at all. If anything, I'm claiming carpal tunnel and stuff like that on my disability claim. But I mean, PTSD behind the desk is weird to me.
Okay. I mean, he did serve in Afghanistan.
Yeah. I knew a lot of cooks in Afghanistan, They don't have PTSD. They don't have PTSD at all. But I don't know, maybe it's just all perspective or what people can handle. Maybe it's the thought of being away in harm's way may have gotten to him. But I mean, at the end of the day, being behind a desk in an AC filled room in Afghanistan and you never hear anything, it's, I don't know what it's, how much is there to complain about, You didn't see anything. You filed paperwork. This guy wasn't like a drone operator behind the desk. He filed paperwork. The most blood he's seen in combat was due to a paper cut.
Okay. Given that everything you're saying is correct, do you think the opposite could have happened where he's over there and he becomes an ISIS sympathizer?
Yeah. We had one when I was overseas. I forget his name. It was it was this guy who went off the base and tried to do his own thing. He got captured by the Taliban. Some rescue attempts were made. I was on one of those missions. It wasn't Berg. I think that was the guy who got beheaded. I forget This one guy, he was like a PFC, scrawny guy. He went off, it made like the news headlines. He went off base and wanted to like live with the Taliban and stuff like that. But I mean, if you have a weak mind, I think you can be easily influenced by, you know, the things that are happening over there. If it's very one-sided, if you have a very one-sided weak mind, you might sympathize with the enemy a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I never wanted to join the Taliban or anything like that when I was over there. It wasn't like that. I learned to respect them after, years of being over there, but I never like wanted to join or anything like that.
Okay, but say you didn't want to join. Was there ever a moment in your career where you sympathized or understood where they were coming from and saw them more than just being the enemy?
Yeah, in 2009, on a rooftop talking to a female. She, yeah, woke up. We had snuck up on an adjacent rooftop, and she was up there and sleeping in a little white gown with this white like mosquito net thing tent, and she having a conversation with her on the rooftop kind of like put the human to human aspect to it of like her dad, she had said worked at the university and was a professor or something like that. Like it put a life to the people instead of just being targets or animals. That's how I viewed them for years. Since my first deployment, they were just animals, targets. And 2009 is when that perspective changed, and I saw them as humans. 2010, when I went back contracting, I got a chance for the first time to like see Iraq in the daylight, and it put that like, man, these people have lives too. They're not just like savages that run around in flip flops and man dresses shooting people. You have that group, but same can be said about America. You can go to any inner city and find people running around with guns shooting people too. So it was that is when I became like 2009, 2010, I started to have that. They're people too, you know, but I still wouldn't want to join. I got where they were coming from. Imagine if 2025 we got invaded and your average civilian has to defend his home with the shotgun or whatever he has. Will he be deemed a terrorist in the other nation's eyes who's invading us because he's defending his territory or because he popped outside at night to see what was going on with an AK-47 and he got shot? I mean, it happens all the time overseas where, a guy comes outside with an AK or has an AK and he may or may not just be defending his family, but depending on the rules of engagement, he's a threat at that moment and he needs to be taken out. So I sympathized in that point, that aspect, but like I said, never wanted to join their movement. I don't have them. I have a Nick Irving movement. I keep to myself. Don't bother me. I won't bother you.
Understood. I heard you refer to them as animals,
Hmm.
not human. Is this something that you guys are taught to see them because it's easier to do your job? They're less than people.
Oh yeah,
Uh, really?
yeah. You have to. I mean, like and it's very one-sided. You don't get the other side of who you're going to go fight. You don't, there's not like a school we go to that says, hey, these are, this is how they live their life. You have many courses of like their culture and stuff, phrases in Arabic and Pashto and stuff like that, but you don't have an in-depth course. We were told, 9/11 happened. They're responsible for it. They're affiliated with it. These are bad people. And you train to kill these people. They're not even people at that point. Like they were savages, animals. I never saw them as a person till 2009. Before that, it was just like their life didn't matter if they died or not. It was just, and yeah, like they weren't real people. They didn't count. It's what it felt like.
Mm-hmm.
But that was
Mm-hmm.
the consensus around the entire uh, my platoon, and a lot of other war fighters that I've encountered. It was very one-sided. But you have to think that way. The minute you think that they have their people or have a family and something like that, you may hesitate for 0.012 seconds, and that's the determination between life and death, in many cases.
Do you ever feel betrayed by the very country that you were fighting for even implanting those thoughts into your head? And the only reason I ask, because the more you're talking, me as an African American male, yourself as an African American male, this is how the white man thought about us.
Yeah, yeah.
We were less than human.
What was it, a
lynching.
fifth of a man or a third of a man?
Correct.
Yeah.
So for them to take out a black man, to sleep with a black woman, rape her, to basically kill and do what you want, use us as free labor. I gotta believe that this was the same teaching that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, it was easy for them to go 400 years or hundreds of years of looking at us like, y'all just don't count. So do you ever wake up, especially when you said, hey, I walked through Afghanistan in the daytime, which is crazy because us who have never been there, us who have never fought, we don't think about it in that way, that you guys were out there in the middle of the night, you're sniping, you're killing, you're taking out targets. And finally, you get to just walk the streets and see regular people doing regular people things. And all of a sudden, a light bulb goes on that, yo, damn, they're just as human as I am.
And it's a beautiful place over there, too. I always told when I came back, I've said Afghanistan would be like a great tourist place if it wasn't so bad at the time, like the mountain scenery. If you wanted to ski, you could ski. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Afghanistan is really beautiful.
Okay, so the images that we see on TV, because all we see on TV are bombed buildings. It seems like all of the men over there are so aggressive and yelling, and it doesn't seem, I mean, I get it. I understand what propaganda is, and I know American media has trained us to think a certain way about them. But it really is a beautiful place.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the same thing. I got two stories. One, Africa. Remember, like 10 cents a day could save this African kid with a fly stuck to his face?
Yep.
Everybody in Africa doesn't look like that. Everybody doesn't live in a hut in Africa either. Everybody's not mining for diamonds and gold either. But it's a beautiful place, man. Like we're only shown one image of a country, our people, and that like shapes and molds the minds of the average day-to-day person who doesn't have the ability to travel to Africa, Afghanistan, Iraq, or those places. Like there's a big club in Iraq when I was contracting that was a really nice club that you would not be able to tell, like, is this American club or in Los Angeles or Vegas or in Baghdad. They had some nice clubs. And in 2007 in Mosul, during a pretty good firefight, we had a lady open up her doors to us, and she served us like chai tea, made sure we had a place to stay and stuff like that. The people are nice in general. They're nice people. I just met them.
Were you guys wearing uniforms at the time?
Yeah, we were rolling around in strikers and uniforms. Like we were shooting right past her house at some guys up on a hill.
And she opened her doors to you?
Yeah, served us up. Oh, yeah. And we had each squad member go in there and get chai tea, sit down on her couch and chill out for a little bit. It was like, yeah, that was 2007 Mosul, Iraq. And then 2009 Afghanistan, when I met the female up on top of a rooftop, and she helped me put things into perspective. And to get into her village, we had to walk over an outdoor. I thought we were stepping in soft, like mud. And they were decomposed bodies that they had buried too shallow on their outer perimeter of where they lived at. And we were walking through this. It smelled so bad. I thought it was like feces or something, but it was decomposed bodies that we were stepping in. They had buried outside of their home. So yeah, we didn't do that. The Taliban did that to to their, wherever they were at, their little village or community or whatnot. But all in all, Afghanistan's a beautiful place. I'll never forget flying in a Chinook helicopter, looking out the back of the ramp and flying over mountains. And it's a beautiful, like, you can't comprehend. It makes you feel so small, and like yeah, it makes you feel like an ant, and how insignificant you really are when you fly over these mountains of Afghanistan, and how this place could be so beautiful but have so much bloodshed in it. Well, a lot of it had to do with us. And don't get me started about how people in a cave planned all these extravagant terrorist attacks. I never met a genius Afghan in my life. They're generally very humble people. They mean no harm. They're just like farmers and stuff like that, trying to make a living. Then you have a different group of people, the Taliban, which we still fund to this day. And that news came out, like $40 million a week. The U.S. taxpayer funds the Taliban. The same people we were fighting, and now they're like in control, and we fund their government, the Taliban, $40 million per week. The U.S. does. So how bad can they really be? Was a picture painted for us to believe that they were these savage people? I mean, the average American would be a savage if somebody came and invaded our country. We'd all be savages, So I don't think the average person in Afghanistan or in Iraq or the Middle East, for that matter, is a savage. No, they live different, but who's to say we live right? Just because we have more technology, because we're more spoiled, that doesn't mean you're doing it right.
Damn, bro, you just said so much, and there's so much I want to tackle. Just listening to you, Nick, you literally said that you were walking, and I believe you were walking to this woman's house.
Yeah.
And you think you're in mud.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally bodies.
Yeah.
That were buried in shallow graves, and they're stinking up the place.
Yeah.
I almost can't imagine. I mean, it's one thing you guys being over there, but it's a whole other thing. This is the way people live. Like,
Yep.
This is part of their normal cycle of life.
Mm-hmm.
We have hundreds of bodies buried between my house and the grocery store, for lack of a better example. And I have to step over this.
Mm-hmm.
That's insanity.
Can be, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I got to ask you this. We're talking about this guy, Shamsa Din Jabbar, and he suffered from PTSD.
Allegedly.
He
could have just been an angry dude, who got easily influenced. I don't know. I've seen guys who just never had a chance to experience combat, and they want to fit in, and I don't know. It's a weird thing, man. I don't know. I don't know why people would want to even go to combat, but I was that guy at one point, so until you actually do it, then it's like, it's not even that fun,
Nah, and you got to live with it for the rest of your days.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell do you get a good night's sleep after that?
CBD, THC.
Oh my goodness. But they found ISIS flag, I believe, in this man's truck. I read that he was originally planning to kill his entire family. He was going to invite everybody over for a celebration and then kill his family.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, how crazy is that? And then he changed his mind and said, you know what? You might as well go big or go home. Let me just drive my truck and kill as many people as I can kill on Bourbon Street.
And he had IEDs, like 2 IEDs planted too in those coolers.
Yep.
I'm glad those didn't go off, and I don't know. That's divine intervention, or I don't know what it is, but for some odd reason they didn't go off, or he just really sucked at making bombs, which is a good thing. But he sat behind a desk, But then you
Yeah,
can
I
also
mean,
look at the
is
laws.
that disrespectful to a person like you when you hear something like this and it's actually being classified that this man might have PTSD? Do you look at it and be like, yo, I just feel disrespected?
I'm not gonna say like disrespect it. I just am like, how? You know, I didn't walk a mile in his shoes, let alone an inch, but I just don't, I don't know. He must have had met a breaking point somewhere. And I think that people are it could be he might chalk it up to PTSD, or the propaganda machine may want you to believe he has PTSD, when all it really was, he was just like, pissed off at the way things are going in America. And he sympathized a terrorist organization that kind of fit the frustration that he was feeling. But I don't know if it was PTSD. He didn't do anything. He did, unless he was Jason Bourne behind the scenes that I don't know of, but he didn't do anything.
True. Okay, let's switch our attention. We got another, and I don't know if I'd classify this as a terrorist attack.
It was a statement attack.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. A cyber truck
Mm-hmm.
blows up in front of the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
First and foremost, very interesting.
Yep.
That he chose a cyber truck. Elon Musk and Trump BFF.
Right.
But,
right.
Right.
That's weird. And that was the first connection that I put two and two together, was that Cybertruck, Musk, and Trump
Exactly.
Hotel. I was like, I don't know. There was too much of a coincidence. I'm not too sure I believe in coincidences, though.
Nah, I think he planned that one out.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know the statement he was making, but I don't think it's no accident that he didn't drive a Chevy and do the same thing.
Yeah. And some say he didn't want to like kill innocent people, and that's why he chose that vehicle. I don't know. He's a Green Beret, and he was a team sergeant at that, which is like, you got to put in some time in the Green Beret Special Forces community to even become that. He could.
Okay, for all of us who have never been in the Special Forces, explain to us a team sergeant. Like, what separates them?
He's in charge of the team. He's in charge of, I'm not a Green Beret. I was a Ranger, and the team sergeant for us is in charge of the whole team. Like, they control the moving parts of what's going on. They're the guy, the highest, not the highest, but they're at the higher chain of command within like not a Delta, but a Special Forces attachment, or squad, or company, that team, that assault team. You have to put in some time. For me to be a team leader, I had put in 4+ years in battalion already, and I had served as a assaulter, machine gunner, machine gun team leader, which meant that I had my own machine gun team, but I wasn't a squad leader. Then I went on to, designated marksman, sniper, and sniper team leader, have my own sniper team. So to have a team, like, you're the guy who calls the shots, but you have to put in some time to even get to that position. And being a Green Beret, which I'm not, I do know, having worked with them, and know quite a few Green Berets, that they specialize, are they're really good at using their hands. Like, they're very smart individuals. Like, a team of 5 Green Berets can, no joke, if they wanted to, take over a small country, and not using. They go and teach other people, like to stage a coup. They can go teach other people in their native language, teach them tactics and stuff like that. But a team of 5 Green Berets is pretty lethal. And then you have people within that team who know everything about every gun that's ever made, can disassemble every gun that's ever made, put it all back together. Then you have a guy who can control any radio system that's ever been created. Then you have a guy who's a demolition guy. But they all know each other's jobs within that team. It's a very unique group of individuals, but to not be able to make a properly functioning IED, it's a little weird. And the system or the setup that he used, the amount of fireworks that he had to use to make a IED was a little sus to me. Like, I would have not chose that that route. If I were going to make a bomb, I would have definitely not chosen that route. There's 12-year-old boys in Afghanistan who can make a hell of an IED. Met them.
Yeah, didn't you put up a post about that exactly?
Yeah,
That this guy, him being a Green Beret, he should have known how to make a proper bomb, a proper explosive.
easily. And from like a 30-minute stop at Home Depot, he could have, pretty sure he could almost level that building.
Okay, so do you think he messed up, or do you think he never had any intent to hurt anybody but himself? But
Yeah,
it was more about the national attention he would get to the statement he was trying to make.
that's exactly what I think. I think it was just about making a statement. And maybe he chose that vehicle, I don't know, to prevent civilian deaths. I don't know. But he supposedly like shot himself before it even
Yeah,
blew
he
up.
shot himself in the head before the explosion.
So I don't think he had the intent of, I don't know, that whole thing was weird to me. I don't know. It screams weird, but then I read or heard his manifesto, his email, if you want to call it a manifesto that he had sent out, and the stuff that he was talking about. To me, it sounds like, but everybody that I've talked to behind the scenes who were Green Berets, they claim him or know him to be level-headed, like really good guy, individual. Then they tried to put out the DNA did not match the child's DNA. That had something to do with it. I don't really believe that. I don't think that was the kicking factor. He didn't mention it in his manifesto. It was more so, some UAP stuff, activity going on, and sounded like he was going through a mental issue. Needed help, So he was going through it.
Nah, his manifesto, it contained contents of allegations of advanced drone technology,
Yeah.
U.S. war crimes in Afghanistan, the use of gravity propulsion systems by China. So he was kind of all over the place.
Yeah, yeah. Sounds like he was hurt, man. Sounds like he was hurt. I mean, the war crimes that he alleged, I don't know. Supposedly it is true, like something did happen. NATO got involved. I'm not too sure about it, but I'm sure enough of the guys in special operations have maybe seen something that was questionable, or I don't know. If the war crimes he says happened, I have no idea. I do know 1 million like civilian casualties happened in Iraq alone. I don't know what is a war crime,
Mm-hmm.
1 million dead civilians. We don't consider that war crimes, but 1 million, I mean, you drop a bomb between 3 buildings and you're only targeting the middle building and the other 2 buildings get leveled and those families die. Is that a war crime or is it just collateral damage? It's a thin line.
I love having these conversations with you, Nick, because you're so introspective about what you've done, about your belief systems, both past and present, and you're not afraid to step outside of, hey, I'm the Reaper, I'm the guy with X amount of kills under my belt, and just be a regular human being that maybe I had it wrong.
You know what? I'm not gonna say I don't like. Everybody has their own path, but I had to learn the hard way. But what I like to hold on to, and we all play a character, you know what I mean? Like it's throughout this whole walk of life, we all play different characters. The character for me at one point was the Reaper or whatnot. Now I'm character dad,
Mm-hmm.
And for the guys, like some guys hold on to that character that they had to be at a certain point in their life. Sometimes it can be too much, in my opinion. Sometimes it can be like, man, that was 20 years ago. Like, turn the page a little bit. We never forget where we come from, and I'll never forget anything that I've done. I forget a lot of stuff. I may get stuff wrong or not wrong, but my memory is not, so much focused on what happened when I was in. I remember some stuff, but I think some people can hold on to that character for a little too long, and it becomes a hard character to hold up. You can't be a dark killer your entire life. Like even the Spartans had a cutoff date. It's like 65 or something like that. Where they couldn't serve anymore. But and I don't even like talking about Spartans either because nobody wants to address what else the Spartans did. Everybody wants to be a Spartan until you gotta have that man love Thursday moment. So Spartans may be, badass dudes, but I'm not doing that. Yeah, everybody wants to be a Spartan. No, you got to cut it off at some point, Am I capable of still killing? 100%. I'll never be in fear of if something happens and I need to protect or defend my family, will I have an issue with it? No. Will I lose sleep over it? No. I won't even bat an eye over it. I know I still have that in me, but I don't like walk around training every day, shooting at the gun range and practicing Jeet Kune Do and stuff. I don't know. I don't do that. I'll play some Call of Duty, but that's about it.
For the very reasons you just talked about, I don't know if you realize it, but I always address you as Sergeant Nick Irving. I never address you as the Reaper. And I see online and, you have a ton of people reposting you and that's always the label, the Reaper, the Reaper, the Reaper. But over the years, I've come to know you as a human being and I understand everything that you were just saying. Like, look, at that part of my life, I played that character. But as human beings, it's our job, it's our duty to grow, to evolve, to mature.
Yeah.
And today, my title is Dad. I'm not that guy. And for that very reason is why I address you the way that I do as a sign of respect, knowing what you've done, but not labeling you just the Reaper, the killer. Okay, does it surprise you, and before I move this conversation on, does it surprise you that both of these gentlemen that we spoke about, Shamsu Din-Jabbar and Matthew Livensberger, who blew up the Tesla in front of the Trump Hotel, does it surprise you that both of them served at Fort Bragg?
No, because Fort Bragg's like a really big not compound, military base. I mean, you got 82nd Airborne, you got Green Berets, the Delta Force, whatever that other guy's job was, human resources guy. It's a big base. And I know a lot of people, I've seen people say the whole MK Ultra mind control thing, or I don't know if that's, because it is associated with that base. I don't think it had anything to do with like a nefarious act behind the scenes. I think it was just two guys who had something, not MK Ultra, just something inside their brain that switched, that switched. And some people feel like, they got nothing to lose or want to take everything down, just want to watch the world burn. You got those individuals out there. And I think they may have chose that date because it's the New Year's. It's a big day. It's a significant day. They could have picked Christmas or something like that. But I mean, some people may have looked back at 2024 and said, what a shitty year. I don't want to do it again. I don't want to go through a 2025 of more of this, more, who knows what, inflation, more BS that's going on, and they just want to get rid of themselves. But at least with Matt, he only took out himself, which, if you're gonna delete yourself, you know, I don't see a reason or to take out anyone else, you know, because you just want to be deleted, you know. So I'm not going to applaud him for it, but you know, at least he
No,
didn't.
I actually think he needs to be I say, you know, me and my wife were sitting down and we were talking. And the one thing that I don't understand with these shooters,
Mm,
you know, people who are using explosives, now they're using vehicles.
yeah.
If you no longer want to be on planet Earth,
Mm-hmm.
no disrespect
I get it. Yeah.
to any of the family members that might hear this interview, but why don't you just kill yourself?
Yeah.
Like, why is it necessary to bring so much carnage
Right.
and hurt into families of victims that you have never ever met?
Right. It's
These
weird.
are good people in many cases.
Yeah. 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 I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't. I always look back at that Mike Tyson where he had said he was talking to a reporter, and he's like, "For you to feel how I feel, you know, I just want to, like, if I kick your kids in the nuts or whatnot, you know, just so you can see the pain that I feel waking up every day, along those lines." And I think that some of these people who decide to do that, they just want to, you know, project how they felt or the pain that they felt, and the only outward expression of doing that is to create carnage and wreak havoc, because maybe internally that's how they perceive their pain. And for other people to understand what they were going through, and no one reached out, no one cared, they go out and do these acts. I don't know. It could be that too, which sucks either way. You know, do I think that's the right way of going about it? Of course not. Like, delete yourself, you know? You don't have to go take out 12-year-old Timmy and a mom of, you know, whatever, and a teacher or a dad of whatever. You don't have to go out and do all that. I think that is kind of, not kind of, I just think it's hard to wrap my head around, you know?
No, it's terrible, Nick. And here are two guys who served. I'm gonna leave Matt out the conversation because he just decided to take himself out. So kudos to him. And my heart really does go out to him because he was in so much pain that he felt he needed to, number one, leave this planet, but in such a violent way. First with a bullet to the head, and secondly, his remains just burning to death in an explosion. But the other guy, bro, you served. If that's the case, go get re-enlist.
I know,
And tell
right?
them to send you somewhere else. And instead of sitting behind a desk, say I want active duty and I can kill all the people that's in my heart's desire.
Yeah, yeah. Because nobody wants that two-way gunfight at the end of the day.
Ooh, that's tough.
That's why they just want to go down the street and take out the innocent people. It's easier. Nobody.
Yo, Nick, hold up. Damn. That's one of them hip hop quotables right there. Yo, that's tough. What you say? Nobody don't want that two-way gunfight?
No, no. That's a terrible place to be. Like, it's all. I was talking to my wife about it a couple of days ago. I cannot tell you how many times I've had bullets. It's in the thousands. Bullets zip past my head or been shot at. Out of like just like on a 90-day deployment, you can do 120 missions, and times that by 6. And we're talking direct action raids. We're not patrolling down the street waiting to get shot at. We don't do stuff like that. We go hit bad guys' homes, and you know, 5 times out of 10, 6 times out of 10, it's going to be a gunfight. Then on the way there, you may, like in Afghanistan, in Helmand Province, to get to the target, you may encounter 4, 5, 6 firefights just to get there. Then you have to get back out, 4, 5, 6 firefights. So I can't tell you how many times I've had, it's in the thousands of, you know, bullets whip past my head. And never at one time was I comfortable. Like, oh, this is no biggie. No, it sucks all the time. It takes one lucky BB to knock you out of this game, and that's all it takes. I don't care how I've seen guys who were at the top of their game just caught one. You know, you can't. It just is what it is, and knowing that in the back of your head in a two-way gunfight, that it just takes one lucky one, and you could be out that picture real quick. All that toughness stuff goes out the window. It just goes back to training, but it's scary at the end of the day. It's terrifying.
You know, Nick, I never asked you this. In just hearing what you just said, have you figured out why you're still here? You said I've had thousands. Like I've had thousands of bullets whiz past me. At some point, you have to look in the mirror. When you're up in the middle of the night, your wife's sleep, your son's sleep, and it's just you, the dark, four walls, and quiet, you have to ask yourself, why am I still here?
I do. And that's a good question. I haven't figured it out yet, man, to be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question that I do ask myself a lot, and I don't know. I have no idea. Man, sometimes I think it could be a punishment. I don't know. I don't know.
Wow. Wow.
They always say death is easy. Life is the hard part. You know? I don't know. Maybe that's why we're all still here. We haven't learned the lesson yet. What's that?
If you ever figure that out, I would love to know the answer to that. Like, you just got to hit me offline and be like, yo, Prez, I figured it out. Because you're here clearly for a reason. It's no accident. There's no way that many bullets can miss you.
Missed a lot of us. I don't think we'll find out until the end. Our time is up. I think that message comes from the other people and not from me or from the individual. I think it comes from the outside, like the people who surrounded you. I think that's where you figure out. But the thing is, you won't even know about it. You'll be dead. But I think that's when we find out. It's we'll know why we were here from the other people who we affected and encountered in our lifetime, those around us. But I don't think we'll necessarily know like why we're here. It's for the other people to tell us why we were here. Like, man, this guy did this, he changed my, I don't know.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Switch topics with me for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Luigi Mangione.
Why does that name sound familiar?
It should sound familiar. He's been all over the news for about 6 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
The healthcare guy,
young brother who I guess he was making a statement as well.
Yep.
He kills the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson.
Yep.
He has since become somewhat of a folk hero.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's become that to many people. I'm not going to say to all.
I saw people getting tattoos of him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a heartthrob. Women are looking at this guy.
Yeah.
Putting hearts all over his picture. Like,
it's crazy.
He has become, and if you're going to make a statement, I hate to have this kind of talk because I don't want to sound insensitive, right?
But I get it. I get it.
He took a life.
Mm-hmm.
He took a life. This person was innocent, as far as we know.
I want to say, I mean, innocent.
Okay.
How?
Let's say, for all intents and purposes, this person was innocent, right? But what this person stood for was so much greater than the position that he held at the time of his demise. So for a person like Luigi, that one kill, it sparked conversation. it now becomes greater than the one life that he's taken, because there's so many people who are working hard and they're paying for health care and they never use it. And the one time that they need it, when tragedy strikes their family, they're being told, hey, you're not covered.
Isn't that crazy?
Is that not insanity?
It is. It is. And I'm like, when you watch the movie Batman and with the Joker in it, I don't ever see Joker as the bad guy. I don't ever see Joker as the bad guy. I've never viewed Joker as the bad guy. It's like Scarface. You know, was he the bad guy? According to like society, Scarface would be the bad guy. He wouldn't fit in, you know, but was he the bad guy? I don't know. I know for damn sure I don't think the Joker was. I don't think the Joker was bad at all. I think the Joker was, yeah, not a bad guy at all. I think he stood for what he stood for, resonated with a lot of people, a lot of the lower class, if you want to call it the lower class or whatnot. You know, he wasn't Bruce Wayne. He didn't have the billions of dollars or whatnot. You know, I don't think that, I just don't think the Joker, yeah, I don't think he was a bad guy at all. Especially like the first movie where it was just about him before the Lady Gaga stuff got involved. Like you got a chance to see the Joker's upbringing and what made him that way. He was never a bad guy. He just wanted to be left alone. You know, just wanted to be left alone. He didn't like he didn't like the way things are run, I guess politically, government-wise. And I think that that's where a lot of America is right now in this day. You look at the LA fires and, you know, 3 months or 2 months ago, their insurance for the fire insurance, for their homeowners insurance was just like cut off. And now they have no fire coverage on their homes that are being burnt down to the ground right now. Meanwhile, also no water to even put them out, you know. And you invest and you put all this money into a system. And at the end of the day, when you need that system to come through because you've invested 10, 20, 15, 5 years of all your hard-earned money into this program, and that program is like, you know what, we can't help you out. Like, what was all that? Where does all the money go? Everybody's putting into this program. Where does it go at the end of the day if you can't even use it? And when it comes time to use it, you put in tens of thousands, $100,000 into it, and you still got to put down like a down payment or the deductible. Yeah, you still got to, like, I just put in like $100,000 and you still want me to come out of pocket more? I don't know. I think the system is backwards. I think it's the whole propaganda thing. Like, we've been told a way to believe this is the way things should be done. This is the right way. This is the way things are. We've been told a lot of what to believe and never asked enough questions. Like, when things don't make sense to me, I'm gonna need an explanation. Like, make it make sense. And if it still doesn't make sense after that, then it's just like, I don't know. Well, what's the point of this then? There's a lot of that in America, I think. And not just America, all governments. You know, hey, famous Bob Marley quote, all governments are illegal. None of the governments on this planet are legal. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this guy, Luigi, if you were going, and I don't condone taking any innocent lives for any reason. I mean, that, as far as we know, Mr. Brian Thompson was a man by all accounts. He worked his way up. He had a great job. From the outside looking in, you're the CEO
of a crooked company at the end of the day, of a crooked system.
Of a crooked system, let's say that.
Yeah, a crooked system.
But if you're gonna make a statement, that one bullet, or those, maybe it's 3, 4 that he shot him.
Yeah.
He made a real statement.
Mm-hmm.
And it sparked conversation. Even as you were talking, I'm thinking of, you know, people in Florida in particular. Hurricane Milton just came through last year and decimated so many homes.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of those homeowners down there, their houses is totaled.
Yeah.
I don't have the money to rebuild it. And the very companies that I was actually paying insurance for times like these are telling me, no, you didn't read the fine print.
Yep.
And we don't cover, for X, Y, and Z. So we're not going to rebuild your house. I was literally watching a report on television recently, and there are people whose homes are still in shambles.
Crazy.
Because the insurance companies won't step up.
Isn't the same thing in North Carolina too? Or South Carolina?
Yep, same storm. Same storm.
Then you had the Maui fires. I mean, would they get like $700 or something like that?
It's something disrespectful like that. I don't remember the exact number, but something disrespectful like that. $700.
Yeah.
What I'm supposed to do with that?
Yep. Rebuild. Like I said, it's the system. And me morally, like I could never, for no amount of money, I would not want to be that guy who's in charge of that system. Like, it goes against my morals, I couldn't live. That's one thing I couldn't live with. I can live with all the other bad, stupid stuff that I've done, but I couldn't live with that, I couldn't live with it.
So you really would not just see that as, I'm sure that the guy, the CEO was making millions of dollars a year. I'm sure that. You wouldn't look at it as, hey, I worked hard and I worked my way up, and this is a great job at a great company, and I'm making millions of dollars a year. For you, it would be something more. This is a crooked system, and I just wouldn't want to take one dime from it.
Well, it couldn't be a great company or a great organization if it's crooked at the same time. The bad's always, that will weigh more on my conscience than anything else. I couldn't stand for it. I would not want my face attached to it, especially when you got families who can't simply afford to have certain health care services or whatnot. If you need to be seen, you should be taken care of. You got countries out here who have universal health care. You got the government that funds everything. They don't have to come out of pocket for it in other countries. And we're supposed to be the greatest and best one in the whole wide world. But then you got other countries that don't have to spend a dime on health care. They're taken care of.
Yeah.
You got countries out here who don't have all the extra crap and additives and GMO and all this stuff inside their food, and it's banned. And you can't find anything, a child's drink or some cereal or something like that without, Red 40 in it, all this nasty chemicals and stuff that I can go pick up off the shelf at Home Depot in a chemical section, and it's also on the back of my ingredients for food I'm about to eat. No, I don't. Morally, I couldn't do it. I couldn't stand for that. No. I think there's a lot of people in America that need health care or need to be seen. But what is health care nowadays? Are we really taking care of your health, or are we just looking for a paycheck? I'll put you on these drugs to get you on these other drugs. And when you come off these drugs, you're going to need these drugs to counteract the other thing. And I'm going to keep you coming back. It's the greatest drug dealer plug of all time. They're the greatest of all time. It's not about taking care of you. It's about keeping you coming back to the plug. That's what healthcare is. That's what a lot of government is, just to keep you coming back. We don't want you to have too much, but we just want you to keep you in a spot to where you have enough to where you have to keep coming back, dependent on us. It's a pimp.
Damn. And that is the business model.
That's the business model. The greatest country in the world, their business model, from the government to healthcare to everything, damn near, is based off of the mindset and business model of a pimp and a drug dealer. And the mafia. We built it's run off of a system and ideology that when it's Joe Schmo doing it down the street, he's a criminal. But when he lives up in the Capitol building, he's a politician.
Woo!
That's how.
Damn, Nick, you preaching today.
It's not Sunday yet, or Saturday, but yeah, we're getting there. It's not even preaching; it's just facts.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's just facts. I think enough I think a lot of people think about this stuff. They see it, but just don't say it. I think some people don't say it and get out there and say it because they're scared they might get the Yeshua treatment, the Jesus treatment.
Mm-hmm.
You start talking too much, and then you know what happens after that. So I think a lot of people don't speak the truth in that aspect because of that. You know, everybody who's tried to go up against the system has died. You know, from all the Black Messiahs back in the day, from the leader of the Black Panther Party, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey. I mean, it's the list goes on and on and on. You don't stand up against the system. You can't buck it.
Well, this guy, Luigi, he damn sure has stood up against the system, and he may die in prison.
More than likely, yeah.
More than likely. I think that's a safe thing to say. I mean, this guy comes from wealth, valedictorian of his class.
That's crazy.
Yeah, this is not, just a regular person. This guy's wealthy. Family is wealthy.
He was fed up. He was fed up. He was fed up. Yeah. Those are the big, I guess, some of the most fearful people is a man who's fed up. Those are some scary individuals. When you're fed up at your wits' end. And I don't know his whole story. Like, was he somebody in his family, they needed health care or something?
As far as they know right now, no. And that's what makes this story even more compelling, because it's one thing if, I'm sure, again, he comes from wealth. I'm sure his family can afford the best health care. But the reason that he has so many people looking at him as their personal champion because he stuck it to the man is because this is what everyday folks who don't have a lot of money go through.
So he was the Joker.
You saw our pain.
Yeah.
You saw the fact that my child was just diagnosed with a rare form of cancer, and I can do nothing about it except hear the doctors give me the runaround. You saw the fact that my dad, was just diagnosed with whatever it might be. And we are literally losing everything trying to keep up with these bills, these payments.
Crazy.
And if not, they won't treat them. That's why this young man is getting so much support.
Yeah, I can see why. And Robin Hood, that's why the people loved Robin Hood too. He stole from the rich and gave to the poor. People resonate with that. He's the average, at that moment, regardless of all the wealth that he may have had or had, he resonated with the average person, living in America. And that sent the message. It wasn't like blowing yourself up inside of a Cybertruck message and talking about UAPs, he sent it to, we can all, at some point, I'm sure most of us can relate to the healthcare system and how much of a debacle that could be. I use the VA, and like, you want to talk about ass? Go to the VA. Go to the VA health system. Navigate that maze. It's like, yeah. That's an ass of a system that should be completely reformed.
Really?
100%. I mean, and they're slowly, supposedly, allegedly, trying to make things better. But you can go back a couple of years, a few months, and there's guys who are having a hard time and offing themselves, deleting themselves, removing themselves from this earth because of just crazy treatment. I got stories for days from just me having gotten out and trying to get help and seek help for all types of things, from mental health to you name it. So I got a laundry list of stories of how the VA healthcare system is a complete mess. I don't know how anybody who's 18, 19, 20-something years old who gets out the military, I understand because I've been there, but it's Shout out to them who have to navigate that atrocious system called healthcare, sponsored by Department of Veterans or the Veterans Administration. It's yeah, they don't care about nothing. If you think your doctor doesn't care about you and your health, go to the VA. You got 15 minutes, 30 minutes, that's all I got, get out. Here's a bag of some drugs, have it, be on your way. And when you get off these drugs, then you're really gonna be loopy and messed up, then you gotta get on these drugs. But I'll see you again in 6 months. Or you wanna schedule something? It's about 8 months away. But I'm hurt right now. I'll see you in 6 months. Yeah.
Damn. You know, Vlad sat down with D.L. Hughley, and D.L. and he spoke about this very subject, about the assassination, and we'll just call it what it is, of the CEO of United Healthcare. And D.L. Hughley said something that was profound. He said, karma is a pre-existing condition.
All you saw, if you watch any of the newspapers, any of the stories, it was about how Americans were basically saying, good. I guess now we know karma is a pre-existing condition.
Karma is a pre-existing
This dude's
condition.
job...
I know you said this on stage.
Yeah, this dude's job was to delay, deny, delay, and defend.
Like, how real is that? Is this just a case of chickens coming home to roost? Is this just karma coming back?
Could be the great, not the Great Awakening, but an awakening from, you ever look back at those stories, let's say, an example, I'm going to use the Holocaust, whatever. Like when you have more of one demographic, like why didn't they just rise up against there was more of them than there were X, Y, and Z. I don't know. Stories like that. I think we're stronger as a people together. And I just don't think that we need a lot of the BS, bureaucratic stuff that goes on in this country. I think most of it's meant for us to just be at a certain level, all around the board. I don't think the system is meant for anyone to really thrive. And you can pitch the whole like, just pull yourself up by your bootstraps and work harder, cliche. But for some people in certain circumstances, it's impossible to do that, and it's all designed or it's based on a system that the powers that be institute. And there's no way of escaping that. Not everybody can, make it out of that system. And like you said, you get pissed off at the system every once in a while when you go to get health care for your child who came down with the rare form of whatever, and he can't get help, then it hurts the average day person. If it happened to my son, I'd be like John Q, in a heartbeat.
No, it does hurt, and it hurts even more because we know it's possible.
Yeah.
We know it is possible to have true universal health care.
Mm-hmm.
You're paying all of this money into the government. You're watching our government fund wars that is somewhere on the other side of the planet, giving billions of dollars every, which seems to be quarter.
Right.
And you have countries where healthcare is taken care of.
Yep.
And it's not like we're not paying taxes.
And education,
it's not like
too.
You don't have the blueprint. It's one thing if there was no blueprint.
Yeah.
But you go to places like Canada, and I believe that they have, healthcare is taken care of in Canada. There's a blueprint. There's a way to do this.
Yeah.
And us being the richest country on planet Earth, we just can't seem to figure this thing out. But more important, you're watching people get rich. These pharmaceutical companies and the system itself make money hand over fist for the very reason that you just spoke about, because the business model is to keep you coming back.
Mm-hmm.
The business model is to have you pay But when you need us, the deductible is so high, you got to shell out more money
Yeah.
before we can even help you.
Yeah.
Th-
Where does
th-
the money
this-
go? Where does the money go? Where does it go? Like, that's my question. I'm genuinely asking, like, where does it go? Where does all of this money go?
Yeah, I think we'd all like to know that answer to that. You know something, Nick, before I lose my train of thought, and this is off, it's on topic, but it's off topic. The NYPD, New York's finest, they seem to do a hell of a job. They had a whole lot of information on this shooter very, very quick.
Right?
Yeah, right. Like they could track his movements coming in. I believe he came in from Pennsylvania. They knew what time he got off the bus. They knew where he was staying. Like literally damn near in 24 hours.
Yeah.
They were piecing this thing together in a way that I've almost never seen. Is this kudos to the NYPD, or do they just pick and choose who they want to put their time and resources into? Because if Ray from up the block gets killed on 125th Street, the killer seems to never get found.
Yep.
If a rapper seems to get gunned down, the killer just seems to never get found.
Yep.
So do we applaud them for this? Or is it just a showing of, yo, you know what? We go after, and this is bigger than the NYPD. This is just America. We put resources into the cases, into the victims
That make the headlines.
that we feel make the headlines and matter.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly what it is, man. And then the other half of the time, he was on our radar. Like, yeah, we knew this guy.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah. But a $600 Venmo payment, they'll find you.
That's right. Okay, moving this thing on. We got a new president. This is the last time you and I sat down.
Yeah.
President-elect Donald J. Trump, is about to take office. Number one, were you surprised? Number
No.
two, is America about to be great again?
First part of the question, definitely I was not surprised. I didn't have Kamala winning at all. I'm like she went from dating Montel Williams to, now she's on our TV screen every 5 minutes. And after that whole election thing, I mean, I haven't seen her. I didn't think she stood a chance. And I just don't, it's not because she was a female. It's not because whatever. I don't think that. I just don't think that she didn't get none of my attention. I didn't see it happening. And it's coming from the same, not regime, you could call it that, the same party where everyone's complaining about, the whole Joe Biden thing. That dude is still sleeping. He's been asleep for 3 years now. And you want to replace, you want to give us another Biden agenda, I guess? I don't know. I didn't have her winning at all. I'm not surprised that he won by far. And I think the second part of your question, do I think it's about to be great again? I don't know. I think there's going to be a lot on his plate when he does get in. But as of right now, just this morning, or since the past 2 days, the Gulf of Mexico and Greenland and Canada have been the big three topics. I don't see how renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America is going to help make America great. I don't see how being, butt buddies with Greenland is going to make me any better. And I don't give a shit about Canada. Great for them. I know they got some really good pancake syrup, but I don't know too much about Canada. Does not affect my everyday life as an American. But if renaming the Gulf of Mexico is going to make America great again, I guess that would not be my, one of my first things on my list that I want to get done. No. and I
Okay,
damn
it's
sure wouldn't have
interesting
Musk
that you
up there.
said you did not see her winning by a long shot. You were
No.
not surprised.
No.
If you first and foremost, let's just call it what it is. Those polls suck.
Big time.
Like all of these polls that come out prior to these elections,
yeah.
they need to do away with them. Like honestly, there are better predictions in psychics, like them street psychics that want to read your palm. Like those guys give you better information than the polls do.
Yeah.
Because those polls were so far off. But if you did look at the polls, if you did look at them, they had Kamala running neck and neck.
Yeah.
With
or
Trump.
in some cases, winning by like a point or two.
Exactly.
Yeah.
People went into that election, many people feeling like, I don't know who's going to win this. It's going to be a close one.
Yeah.
And it was a landslide.
I stopped believing polls a long time ago. And like, I never get phone calls or whatever. I don't know who they're polling. You know, I think it's an internal thing that, you know, NBC or CNN or Fox, they poll internally and they base it off of that. I don't know. But I think 99.9% of them is just literally made up. And it's propaganda. It's to keep you on the edge of your, every election's like that. It's going to be a close one. Or is the government going to shut down? They wait till midnight every freaking year, you know? It's a game. It's to keep everybody on their toes, man. It's a game.
Well, you want to know something? We were talking about the healthcare guy, Luigi, earlier. And you were just saying how the statement he was making, it was more about just the average person. Because they can identify. One of and everybody is Monday morning quarterbacks. I won't say that me personally, I didn't go into this election. I didn't feel the way you felt. I actually trusted and believed the news cycle that I was reading and watching. I thought it was going to be close. Woke up the next day and realized America had spoken. It wasn't close at all.
No.
But one thing, you know, hindsight is always 20/20. One thing I will give to Trump, for a guy who does not know the meaning of want, the guy who has never understood what my stomach grumbling because I'm hungry, a guy who never has had the stress of, I don't know how I'm gonna make my rent this month. The light's gonna go off. I gotta make a real life decision. Do I fill up my gas tank or do I put food in the crib? Because one of them is gonna take a L. Because I just can't do both. He seems to have he seems to understand. I mean, and it could be all bull crap. I mean, it's politics as usual.
Yep.
But the stuff he ran on, groceries, that's what resonated to people.
Yeah.
Put money back in their bank account. Like, yo, when I was in office, the economy was flourishing.
That's facts. Yeah.
Look at the last 4 years, the last 3.5 years. Are y'all's bank accounts looking the same as it looked when I was in office? Do y'all go to the grocery store and not cringe when you see the price of food?
$10 for eggs. Yeah.
Correct. Like, he ran on things that just everyday people can relate to, even though I'm sure he has never faced any of those issues himself. And she didn't.
Yep.
She ran on
where she grew up.
A woman's choice.
Yeah.
Which I respect.
Yeah. And I think, like, the average American doesn't think about that stuff. And if that's all, I mean, I respect the whole women's right thing. I'm not going to get too much on that. I just know, I know we terminate a lot of babies annually. It's a crazy amount. But I don't know. I think she ran on, like the average person doesn't worry about, man, am I going to get it? Am I going to have to, am I going to be able to get an abortion, this week? And then next week, will I be able to get another one? And then the week after that, can I get another abortion? I don't think the average person rolls around thinking about that. I get there's a time and place for an abortion. That's why I couldn't be president. I have no desire to rule over anyone, but that's my big thing. Because I believe that, there's maybe a certain place and time to terminate something, but if you just lack morals and you just have no ability to control your legs whatsoever, and you want to pop these pills and get aboard, that's a moral thing, I don't even believe in going to church, but go to church or something.
But here's the deal, Nick. You could believe in this all day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pro-life. I mean, excuse me, I'm pro-choice.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I am.
Mm-hmm.
But real talk, I'm more pro keeping the lights on in the crib. I'm more pro.
Thank you. Yeah.
Being able to go and buy food at the local supermarket and being able to afford it. That's what affects people's lives day in and day out. That's what people are stressed about. You mentioned in this very conversation no less than 6 different times the border.
Mm-hmm.
That's top of mind for many people.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And these, I just think, you would think him damn near being 80 years old. You would think him being rich his entire life. It's not like he was born poor and know what it is to be poor and can relate to poor people. He's been rich his entire life. You would think all of these things he'd be so out of touch. But
right, yeah.
His points that he chose to run on, I don't care who you are, they just resonate with you.
Yep. If Kamala wanted to win it on the whole pro-choice thing, here's what she could have done. Keep the whole pro-choice, women's right, my body, my choice, understand it, great. But then the man should have a choice too. Man shouldn't he can have a choice. I don't want to pay child support.
Yo, hold on. Yo, I'm about to, forget Sergeant Nick. I'm about to call you Reverend Nick. You preaching. Go ahead, my brother.
That's what I would do. I would have been like, you know what? The man should have a choice too. The man could have a choice if, you don't want to have a baby. I don't want to pay child support. Why the man is going to has no choice whatsoever, but it takes 2 to tango. I don't think that the women should all have the right for everything. I believe, but then they want equality too. Well, let's be equal. Let's have man's choice. My pockets, my choice. I don't want to pay for,
Go ahead, Nick Irving.
Yeah, I don't even have kids like that. I have one. Same with the same girl I've been with since 2017. No. Yeah, right? 2017? Yeah, 2007. Oh my gosh.
Yo, she about the 2-piece you.
What?
She about the 2-piece you. Like, brother, get this right.
Yeah, 2007. My timeline is off. He was born in 16. Yeah. We start talking in 06, met each other in elementary school. We can go back that far. 1st grade. I know that. Got married in 07. Yeah. But I think the man should have a choice too then. If she could have made a different impact if she wanted to just roll with that. But I think, like you said, the average American was worried about putting food on the table, gas in the car, going to work, and not having to worry about, man, all my checks going to go to gas this week or, health insurance or who knows what. But he resonated with, way more, obviously, with the American people than she did. The women's vote just wasn't, I don't know if it wasn't as powerful. I don't know. Something happened that, like, literally no one almost voted for to that point.
No, I mean, I think, that message, it's a worthy message. It is worthy, but it's exclusive.
Yep.
And what I mean by it's exclusive, there are 3 necessities in this life. it's food, clothing, and shelter. That's a necessity. Whether you are rich, you're poor, you're white, you're black. That's what he chose to run on.
Yeah, which is the right thing to do.
The basic necessities.
Yep.
Whereas she picked a topic that it's a worthy topic to run on, but that shouldn't be your top line.
No.
Topic, because it is exclusive. And I think she saw it because so many men, decided, hey, she's not speaking to me.
Yeah.
She's not speaking to me. And me being the breadwinner of my family, I got to make a decision, not as a Republican, not as a Democrat, not as an independent, but as a human being. And if this is going to help me to stay a law-abiding citizen, because I'm damn near a paycheck away from putting on a ski mask and running up into First Federal. If this is going to keep me being a law-abiding citizen, then so be it.
Yeah, yeah.
And for the record, she got my vote. She did. She got my vote. I'm not. She got my vote, but
I don't vote.
I don't
so
think
I'm
she.
Good. Yeah, you're good in my book. I don't even vote, man. But yeah,
it's so crazy to hear you say, and you've told me this before. For somebody who gave it all to this country, I cannot believe. Like it should be me saying I don't vote. But to hear somebody like you say, like you gave it all, like I took life for this country. I walked hand in hand with the Grim Reaper day in, day out, praying that one of them sniper bullets didn't take me out. And you're like, yo, I give it up to you. You didn't even vote. That's crazy, Nick.
Really? I don't think that.
So, listen, okay, before you go in, I'm so sorry to what was it for then? What was it for?
What was it for?
Like what has your legacy amounted to if you can't even bring yourself to walk into a polling station and vote?
I don't vote because I don't think that same establishment we talked about, the one that is run by the pimp, the mafia, and the drug dealer, I don't think that they would ever put the average person lower than them in a position to where they could make a difference at that level. We can affect their pockets. I don't think that same establishment would give us that power to even be able to move the needle. I think that's all being done behind the scenes with the big bankers, just rich individuals. The reason why I don't have $1 billion, so I can't go stand on stage with the president and jump for joy. I can't go have a private dinner with a bunch of other people because I don't have $1 billion in my bank. So I think those people are the ones that move the needle. Those are the ones that have the true influence. We don't have that influence. We don't have enough. We don't make enough. If we meant that much to the establishment, if we did mean, if we meant that much, I think we would have a better system in place than the one we already have. They don't care about us. I do know that. I know that they don't care about us whatsoever. The elite, whatever you want to call them, the establishment, the government, they don't care about us. So why would they care for your vote? I've never seen, I don't know. I don't think the vote matters. I think it's a different way of keeping tabs on people, to be honest with you. I think it's a participation thing to make you feel like it's all propaganda. They give you an illusion that, oh yeah, you have this power or you have this ability to do something, but that's all it is. It's an illusion. Just like the American dream, you got to be asleep to actually see it. Once you wake up, you realize there was no dream to begin with. I don't think that we have that power. It's just the beast will never let little old peasants like us have enough power to be able to defeat it. Ever.
Wow. So what was it all for?
Some guy
What
in
does Nick Irving's life amount to?
Back then, it all was because of a bunch of dudes with bald heads and 80-something years old with ties who sat behind desks, wanted their pockets to be a little bit fatter. They wanted to be able to make little business deals behind the scenes like KBR and Halliburton and stuff like that. I think it was for people to get rich. That's it. I think the war, the reason why we went over there to go fight, period, was not for the protection of the country. It was under that illusion. But the people who flew the planes into the towers had nothing to do. They weren't from Afghanistan, and damn sure wasn't from Iraq. Still waiting for the weapons of mass destruction to pop up. I tell you what did pop up: infrastructure from companies that were here. Then you got Halliburton, who was the vice president at the time, Dick Cheney. That's his company. He appointed himself. So I think it was for people to get rich. This is a money grab. The war on terrorism went on for so long because people were getting rich. It wasn't about keeping America safe.
You know, I'm glad you broke that down, but that wasn't exactly my question.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. What was it?
I was asking you a more philosophical question about your life.
Oh.
So much of your life has been fighting for this very country.
Mm-hmm.
What was it all for? How do you make sense of it? How do you look your son and your wife in their faces and reconcile the many years of service? Because it's one thing to talk that and make America great talk, but that comes with blood. That comes with carnage.
Yeah.
America has always been a violent country.
Facts.
And it's never the people at the top that get their hands dirty.
No.
It's you.
Yeah.
It's your counterparts. It's your peers. It's your brothers in arms.
Yep.
So you feeling the way that you feel, how do you look at your family in their face and make sense? Like what was it all about?
Yeah, fool me once. You know? That's where I take it. Won't do it again. How did George Bush say it? Yeah, it was on the J. Cole's track too, if you want. But yeah, I don't think it comes with acceptance. I know that. And with acceptance comes peace and understanding. And I've accepted the fact that, hey, this is what I was fighting for. Nothing I can do about it. I can't go get those lives back. I can't go unstrap the boots. I can't unsign the dotted line and go to college. My life wasn't even set up that way. So, you know, fell for the trap, man. I fell for the, Go Army commercials and Navy SEAL commercials and,
and
stopping
to be
bad
all
guys.
you can be.
Yeah.
We get more done by 9 a.m. than most Negroes do all day.
Yeah. I fell for it. That's what happened. Yeah. I fell for it. But if there were ever a time where America, the last time America actually fought for something was like, World War II? And by then Russia had already did most of the damage and lost most of the people. 1776 was like the last time we were at war, and actually like fought for our country. I don't think after that, it's debatable, World War II. You could throw World War II in there, but I was like the last time. Everything else is for, once they found out that money's for profit and how much money you can make from it, you got to keep war going under the illusion that it's for the freedom and the betterment of America. When in actuality, to make America great, you need to start at the top, and it's going to start within. It's not going to be fought in the desert somewhere. It's going to be fought here. you know, whether that's through blood or through moving different chess pieces or taking chess pieces out. That's the only way you can make America like great and great again. I mean, it's had some good times, but great, you got to go back some time, I think, you know, and how far back we going, I don't know. Make America better, I think would be it, you know, better than what it is.
I'm about to call you Nostradamus because you damn sure be seeing the future. The last time you and I sat down, you said that there was going to be, I mean, the first assassination attempt on
oh yeah, I remember that.
The first assassination attempt on President Trump's life had taken place.
Yep.
And you said that there's going to be another one.
Yeah, yeah.
How the hell could you have known that?
Just writing on the wall, man. I think that, and I don't think that's the last one. I don't think that's the last one. There's still pissed off people out there with the same mentality, same mindset as the first assassination attempts that took place. There's still people out there. I think security measures have increased somewhat, but those people are still out there. It's not going to be the last either. And I hope I'm wrong, but the amount of bad people who are already here in this country that just want to see and wreak havoc, they're already here. There's no stopping it, you know? We'll find out after the fact that, hey, yeah, they were on our radar, but it's just too late.
So, I mean, for the record, because we're going to sit down again in a couple of months, you say, Shawn, before this man's term is up, there'll be another attempt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I think before there's another attempt, I think there's going to be another little mini terror attack.
Really?
Yeah. Before his.
Okay, so are we talking a mass shooting per se? Which we know probably in the time that it takes to do this interview, there's probably been another one.
Yeah.
Or are we talking a terror attack linked to an international terror organization that somebody here has been radicalized?
I think it's going to be a radicalized individual. And I think it's going to be like the going to the mall with something. But then I'm also fearing like suicide vest and vehicle-borne IEDs. I think that's going to be the new, because it's so easy. It's so accessible. When you can turn your vehicle into a deadly weapon and take out more people than you can with an AR-15. I think it's going to be more of those style attacks.
Yeah, you were saying earlier how there's so many soft targets.
Big time.
Here in the U.S. that it's just too easy.
Yep. You got malls, you got schools, you got stadiums, you got these outdoor venues. Look, the Las Vegas shooter who shot up like 300-something people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was one old guy that knocked that out by himself. Imagine what would happen. I mean, there's so many soft targets. If I were a bad guy, I could shut half America down. I watched two guys do it when I was living in Maryland, the DC sniper.
Yeah, the DC sniper.
So it doesn't take much to shut America down and put it on its hind heels. So I think, way too many soft targets, way too many people who are fed up, and way too many people still who are not going to like the new incoming president and have a grudge against him and are going to do something stupid too, whether to make a statement or just be affiliated or a sleeper cell that is decided to activate or have been activated and knock something out.
Yeah, I mean, unlike that first attack, the first attempt on President Trump's life, this second would-be assassin, he was hiding out in the bushes at Mar-a-Lago.
Yep.
Tried to take Trump out while Trump was playing golf.
Yeah.
And they're saying one of the Secret Service agents actually saw the barrel of the gun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Didn't actually see him, saw the barrel of the gun.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bushes moved and he just started popping off at him.
And missed every last one of them.
Good.
Weird.
Thank you for pointing that out, Nick.
Yeah. Missed every last one of them. At close range, too.
So what did that tell you? Is he just a bad shot, or like
Probably.
do you give him props for even noticing this and being astute and aware?
Oh, yeah.
And or do you just be like, come on, man? Like,
I give him props for being able to see that. That's really good target detection. But missing all your shots at that distance with a pistol, and you're the Secret Service guy, that's pretty bad. That's bad. That's real bad.
so you'd have sent him back to the range?
Oh, yeah, he'd still be at the range. Yeah. Come on.
I mean, I'm sure Trump gave him a handsome bonus.
Yeah, something. Like,
I hope he did anyway.
yeah.
But if he worked with you, if you were squad leader, you'd have been like, look,
Oh,
in the public eye, you a hero, but behind closed doors, check this out, bro.
yeah. You might not even be on my team.
Oh, damn, it's like that?
Yeah, you probably won't even be on my team. You're missing shots at this distance. I mean, come on. I don't know. That's bad. That's bad to me. Yeah. Ain't no way I'm missing at that distance. With a pistol? No. He was like measured in feet, like short distance away. And he missed. That's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he's the top echelon Secret Service. Too many soft targets, and I think that the people who we think are not really built like that. I think we've been too lackadaisical. We haven't had enough happen. We're lazy we're lazy. We're comfortable. We're too comfortable. And too much comfort can get you killed.
Yeah. Yeah. Sleep is the cousin of death.
Yes, sir.
Trump, he's electing his cabinet. He's gonna be sworn in, I think a week from now.
Yeah.
He's electing his cabinet. He's got some interesting cabinet picks. He elected Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy to take care of the Department of Government Efficiency because they built big businesses. He wants to figure out where all the money's going in government, and they need to streamline some of them budgets.
I agree.
Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, he was looking at Matt Gaetz for the Attorney General, but there was so much scandal on that guy, he had to drop out. Now Pam Bondi, I believe she's been appointed that position. What do you think about this guy's cabinet picks?
I think he's trying to assemble what he believes is going to be like the Avengers, whether or not they actually come through. I don't know. I see a lot of people crying about Musk and their blue check marks being taken away and their alleged free speech or some shit, but I don't know. I'll never trust a billionaire, ever. Ever. I don't know.
That's strong words. Just because they're a billionaire?
Yeah. I don't think you get to that position of power just to, yeah. You got to have some dirt underneath your fingers, and you don't get there doing everything morally 100% right and what's best. So I don't believe so. And then I think that people who are just, I don't know, people who want to be just billionaires and keep accumulating, I think that it's a thing, like a weird complex, I think, too. Like to just have, I don't know, that's just me. I would never want to be a billionaire. Call me lame, but that's just for what? You can only spend so much at a time. You can't take the rest with you. You're going to leave it back for your kids, and who knows what they're going to do with it. They could smoke it all away. We all watched Mike Tyson go bankrupt after making like $300 million, and he had nothing at the end. So who knows what anybody's going to do with money when you're not there to watch it. So the whole idea of accumulating millions and millions, there's a big gap between $1 million and $1 billion, just having billions and billions and billions. I don't know. The guy who owns Amazon, like, You would sit down and have coffee with him? I wouldn't want to. I think the dude's a douche. I don't know. I don't like nothing about that guy. Just because he has $1 billion? No. That means nothing to me. Like, that means nothing. People who praise billionaires, like, I don't care. I know what a 9mm can do to a billionaire, just like it can to a poor person. You know, that $1 billion is not going to stop a 9mm, a 22, or a baseball bat to the back of the head. $1 billion won't stop none of that. Still regular at the end of the day. It might buy you security, but we looked at we watched a billionaire get shot right through his ear on national TV running for president. And he's a billionaire. You know, the CEO got shot in New York, of all places, in the back of his head by a guy with no prior training whatsoever. Trump almost got assassinated by another guy, no prior training whatsoever. There's a lot of people with no prior training whatsoever who are pulling off some of the greatest stunts or heists of all times, going up against multi-millionaires, billionaires with all the money, all the security, but still touched. So it doesn't mean nothing to me. Just because you have all the money doesn't mean anything to me at all. Nothing. I don't respect you more or fear you more or fear you anything. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting.
Unless you could buy your way to heaven, tell me about it.
No, I think everything you're saying is absolutely correct. I don't know that I would put all billionaires in the same pot just because they have money. I think it
depends on how you accumulate it. Some may have been born into it. I get it, I guess. But people who just, I don't know. What have you done with that those billions and billions of dollars? The people who work underneath you, how many pay raises do they get? You know, what's their annual salary?
Okay, so does it shock you just bringing this thing a little closer to home when you see a Dame Dash damn near speaking to anybody who will listen about his billionaire ex-partner Shawn Carter, Jay-Z?
What about it?
I mean, he's not speaking kindly about this man.
Yeah.
You know, does it surprise you?
No, not at all.
Or do you think he shares? Okay, let me ask the question a different way. Do you feel that he is just bitter because maybe his paper ain't what it used to be? Or did he come to the same reality as you? Like, in order for Jay to get those billions, he had to really do some effed up things to some people.
That's all I think it is. I don't think Dame Dash, from what I've gathered and seen growing up, he's a hustler at heart. At heart, he's a hustler. He's always got something going on. I don't think the dude's just like dead out broke, you know?
No. By no stretch of the imagination. His paper being messed up is very different from the average person's paper being messed up. Let's be clear on that.
Yeah. I don't think that he's jealous or anything like that. I think he's more hurt of what Jay-Z had to do to get to that level. And that could be backstabbing, you know, your best friend and getting away with it. I don't know. I think that it's more so him just acknowledging and seeing what it took and what Jay-Z had to sell to get to that level, to get to that position of power or wealth.
Yeah, you know, and then we'll bring it back to our conversation, but I grew up watching those two and watching those three bigs as well build this amazing company, Rockefeller, something that has been so culturally significant in all of our lives.
Yeah.
And to see, you know, I mean, and this is the same old story. You know, so many people with money or that came up together, that got money together. Those are not the bonds that tie. You know, this is a very familiar story, but because we watch those two, it's almost hard to believe. Like when I'm sitting and I'm listening to some of these interviews that Dame gives, that Dame is just like, yo, the gloves is off, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna just speak my truth.
I don't
and
see
dude
nothing
is
wrong with
not a
that.
good dude.
I don't see nothing wrong with that. And if that's the truth, then that's just the truth. It's just the way it is, you know? And that's just that's the reality of the game. To reach a certain level, you can't keep your fingernails. You got to have some dirt underneath your fingernails at the end of the day. And if you're comfortable with doing that, then so be it. If not, same. So be it.
Okay. Bringing this thing back to Trump for 5 minutes. You know, Vlad, he sat down with D.L. Hughley, and D.L. Hughley, I give him his props because he touched on something that I think needs to be spoken about. He called out all of those black Republicans who campaigned on Trump's behalf, and they earned no seats in his cabinet once he was elected. People like Herschel Walker, Candace Owens, Ben Carson, Mark Robinson, Tim Scott, Byron Dot, just to name a few. These are dudes who they were front and center wearing that red hat, and they were proud that Trump knew them on by first name basis. And now that these cabinet positions are being given out, you know, DL is right. What seat are y'all getting? Is that not crazy?
Dirty game. Politics is a dirty game. I'll never understand it. I'll never want to be a part of it. It's a dirty, dirty game. Like I said, to get up to a position of power, you got to have some dirt. You got to do bad stuff to people. I don't know. I just don't. It's a dirty game. And what comes with the dirty game is dirt. You know, so I can't get mad or hate because some dirt was thrown. We all knew it was dirty. We all knew it. They wanted to participate. So what can they get mad about? You're in a dirty game. You wanted to come out on top clean? Doesn't make any sense because your feelings are hurt and because I look like you playing a dirty game. I have nothing. I have no sympathy and I have no connection with people in politics. I don't care if you're black, white, whatever. Like, it's a dirty game. By nature, you're a dirty person. I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I don't like you. You're a politician. By nature, your job is to trick people. You're a polytrickster. I don't care about you. Like, you have the fact that we want people to rule over our world, our way of life in the first place, and we want to vote to have people tell us what to do is weird to me. I don't want that. Why would I want another man telling me what to do? I don't know you. What are you going to do, spank me? You know what I mean?
Okay. So what's the alternative?
I wish
live under a regime where one person rules.
No, I don't believe that. I don't think I wish we were all consciously and spiritually, whatever you want to call it, aware or mature enough to where we didn't need people to rule over us. But unfortunately, we got dummies, and there's a lot of dummies in the world that we need people or have to have people to like keep order. Because if not, I could see the mayhem. I just want no parts of it though. I don't want to play the game. I don't, politics is it's a Babylonian,
it's a dirty game, man.
It's a Babylonian sport.
You said it best. Like, it can't be said any better than that. It's a dirty game.
Yeah.
But just by its very nature, it's a dirty game. I'm looking at how old is old man Biden? 81 years old? 80,
I thought he was
81
pushing
years old?
90s, something like that.
Yo, Biden said in no uncertain terms, and he was asked no less than 100 times by 100 different media outlets, if my son is convicted, I will not pardon him.
Isn't that crazy? And then when he pardons him, he's like, what'd you expect me to do? He's my son. You know? Like, that should tell you everything you need to know about all politicians, to the bottom to the top. This is the president telling the American people, the president of the United States telling the American people 100 times, hey, I'm not going to pardon my son. He's going to, he's going to have, he made his bed, lay down in it. But then when the time came, he's the first one to be pardoned. And was like, well, what'd you guys expect me to do? He's my son. You guys know that. Like, what would you do for your kid? And we were supposed to sit back like, damn, you know what? He is right. I would do that for my kid. But would you have lied the entire 100 times before that? If you're comfortable with that, then you're a great politician. You're a dirty liar, And that's all it is. The president of the United States that's one thing. That's just one thing. We get lied to all the time, and we keep wanting to play the game and vote for what? A better liar? I'm good. It's a Babylonian sport. And I'm all about, Babylon can burn, man. The whole politic game is stupid. The fact that they can lie and we have a conversation about it and it's funny, like it's a joke. That's what we are to them. It's a joke. When the people at power can lie to your face and the only thing we can do about it is joke about it, laugh about it, and play the game again. Knowing we're going to get, that's the definition of insanity. We're going to play the game again and expect a different result, but the past 10 results prior to this, generations, it's all been the same. We've been lied to. Okay, let's vote, let's do it again. That's the definition of insanity.
Nah, that's so true. And here's the crazy part. Had Biden just said this from the gate,
they've been fine.
Who could be mad at, like, real talk?
Yeah.
If he had just said no comment, if he had just said from the gate, I'm a human being.
Yep.
I'm caught between a rock and a hard place, and I really got to sit on this and pray. I understand I'm the president of the free world, but I'm also a human being, and I'm a father, and we will revisit this when the time comes. Because truth be told, I'd have did the same thing.
Yeah,
You'd have did the same thing.
Yeah.
Any parent would have done the same thing.
Yep.
He just jammed himself up by being so definitive that I
being
won't do it.
He wasn't being a human being. He was being a politician. He was being a liar, and that's what they do. You as a human being and me as a human being, we know these things, and it's comfortable for us to be like, hey, when the time comes, I'll see what, but we all know what we're going to do, or just tell the truth to begin with. That's my son. What do you think? I'm the president of the damn United States. Of course I'm going to pardon my son. Of course. But instead, a non-human would just, court us all along and say for 102 times, no, I'm not going to do that. And then when the time comes, just be like, well, whatever. They don't care. They don't care at all. The fact that we think and want them to care blows my mind. You cannot, that's like trying to teach a dog to juggle, using just his paws. It ain't going to happen. You're trying to teach a fish to breathe air. It ain't going to happen. So to want and ask and hope for a politician who won't lie to you, it's the same thing. You're asking a fish to breathe and do backflips. No. A fish belongs in the water, a liar belongs in politics.
Whoa. Okay, so do you think, had Biden not been asked to step aside, not been asked to allow Kamala to be the front runner, would he have hit? And if he had run and won, if he had ran and won, would he have made that same decision? Do you think him saying, I'm not going to pardon my son, was all contingent on the fact that I'm planning to run again and I'm planning to be president for another 4 years?
But the American people already saw a lie before that, though, that he was cognitively there. And everybody around him said that he was cognitively there. He was in good health, only to find out that, no, that wasn't the case either. It's impossible to even fathom him doing that just because of the age alone. And his mental faculties were not all there. And The guy was already off the deep end.
Yeah, but you're always the last one to know. Like in his own head, he thought he could do this job for another 4 years.
That's crazy.
The ego is a bad boy, man.
It is.
His ego told him physically and mentally, I can do this job. I'm up to the task. I'm just as fit as anybody else.
Then he
so
woke
it doesn't
up.
surprise me, real talk, that Nick, that you know, he was walking around like my cognitive skills are just fine. Would anybody be any, like, real talk? Most people, you could look in sports, you know, boxers, fighters, they all fight past their prime. I watched the baddest man on the planet, Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Step into the ring with what was it, Jake Paul? You know, in Mike's head, he actually thought he had a fighting chance.
Yeah, he thought he was moving, huh?
he thought, yo, this is Mike Tyson, 1989, 1991. I'm the baddest man on the planet. And at 58 years old, he stepped in that ring and he found out something that everybody else knew.
Father Time is undefeated.
Father Time is undefeated.
Yep.
And you're no exception.
Yep. It's a tough pill to swallow, I bet.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, true story. It has to be. Like, but I say ego because I just don't know that anybody would. And here's another thing, and this is as real as I could put it. I've never seen anybody, politician or not, willingly give up power.
No.
I just haven't seen it.
No.
Power is always taken. Period. So it doesn't surprise me that old man Biden actually thought that he could do it again.
True. We knew he couldn't.
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah.
But I don't even think he was faking. I don't think he was lying. I think in his head, he was like, yo, I'm good.
That makes it more funny to me then.
Is it true, man?
I want to have that confidence when I'm 89 years old.
Any area of life, man.
Nah, tell my wife, yeah, I still got it. I hope I have that confidence when I'm 89. Blow my back out. Pause. Wait, never mind. Nothing.
Okay, so your man Trump, he's about to be sworn in. And he said, yo, all hell is going to break loose if those Israeli hostages are not freed by my inauguration. Do you hold him to his word, or is that just some tough talk that I needed to say before I actually got to be president?
The hostages being held by
by Hamas.
By Hamas?
Yes.
Oh.
Because they still have those. I mean, this has been dragging on forever.
Yeah.
The war between Israel and Palestine. But, you know, there's still hostages over there.
Allegedly. Is there any proof of life yet?
I think so. I would hope so.
Okay, let's say if they are still alive, right? The thing about Trump, I don't think he's playing. I think that he's about, like, that action for real. You know, look at the other terrorist organizations he's, you know, defeated and dropped bombs on and killed and wiped out. And I think when he says stuff like that, he's dead ass. Like, no, I'm going to unleash hell. I think so. It would be, I don't know how much more hell you can unleash over there or what's still standing, you know, where Hamas is at. Palestine's not that big. But I guess they still are at it, so I don't know what else more is left to destroy. But I'm sure they'll find it.
Okay, so I'm talking to you, a man who's about his business, and you're like, nah, Trump is about his business. If he said it, I believe it.
I believe when it comes to war, yeah. When it comes to war, yeah.
So if you're Hamas, what are you doing right now?
Nothing.
Huh? Like, you do realize his inauguration is in a week.
Yeah, but I'm Hamas, so death to me is an honor. I don't care.
Ooh.
That's how they view it. I'm a terrorist. I'm a bad guy. I'm about an ideology. I don't fear death. Death doesn't kill the ideology. That's going to last forever. Kill me. You're just going to piss off my kids, my neighbor, and everybody else who looks like me and who stand behind me and stand with me. So go ahead. Blow me up. There's 1,000 more people willing to take my spot.
You know something, Nick? You said I'm a terrorist. I'm the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
You've been over there.
Yeah.
Do they view themselves as the bad guy? Do they view themselves as terrorists?
No.
Because to reference what something else you said is, I'm fighting for an ideology.
Mm-hmm.
So in their head, I gotta believe they are not the bad guy.
They don't think they're the bad guy, no. Just like most of Americans don't think we're the bad guy. We're the one always poking our head into everybody else's business, dropping bombs. We're not the bad guy. We kill more innocent civilians and people around the world than anybody else, but we're not the bad guy. I don't know. What is the bad guy nowadays? Because of what you believe differs from what we believe? It's all about an ideology. And as long as you believe in your ideology, you'll always be right, whether it's right or wrong. We have our ideology, they have theirs. And if you ask them, they're right. If you ask us, we're right. Somebody's got to be wrong. Who? That's up for debate.
Yeah. Yeah, because I'm sure they're not sitting there looking at themselves as anything more than freedom fighters on one hand, victims on the other, being oppressed. And we're doing what we know to be right. The only way that we know we can bring any attention to this ideology we believe in.
Mm-hmm. It's a vicious cycle. Wars are hell, man. War is hell. War is hell. That's all it is. It's stupid, but it is what it is.
So with that being said, you don't think Trump could talk all that tough talk he wants and mean every word of it?
Yeah.
It's going. I'm unleashing hell.
Mm-hmm.
In your opinion, they're sitting down.
They don't care.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah. I've come across bad dudes that we call bad people in bad places. They don't care. They are not scared. Those guys, they're not scared. No. Those guys are not built. They're built, their livelihood for generations. They've been around this. This is nothing new to them. Their lineage comes from this. It's nothing new. It's like in Afghanistan. No, that's not new to them. That's where empires go to fall. There's nothing, they don't care about that stuff. Drop a bomb, so what?
Wow. Okay, switch topics with me for a second. Are you up on the little Dirk being arrested by the feds?
I heard a little bit about it. To be honest, like the new age rappers and stuff, respect to what they're doing or whatnot. I don't get it. I don't get all the everything's kill music, stuff like that. I don't know. I don't really keep up with it. The gangster rappers, I don't know. The shit don't do nothing for me.
Well, he's been arrested for a murder for hire.
Yeah.
Against Quando Rondo's cousin, Lil Pop. And I think it went down to something like 2022.
Mm-hmm.
But, 6 of his boys, I believe it was at least 6 of his boys, maybe 5, 6 of his boys.
The 5th one just got, I saw it on my news feed. The 5th one got arrested yesterday or something.
No, you think about a different one. That's Fulio.
Oh, yeah.
That's Fulio in Florida.
Wild. Damn. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Nah, this is Dirk over,
Chicago.
They flew to LA. They flew from Chicago to LA.
Uh-huh.
And they hit a truck that they was actually trying to hit Quando Rondo and got his cousin who was sitting in the back seat of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
And the feds seemingly got a bunch of evidence linking this whole thing back to Dirk. But more important, they got somebody who's been talking, who filled in all the pieces.
Wearing the wire and all that, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
What a vicious cycle, you know? Vicious cycle. I don't know. I don't get it. I think it's stupid that, like, I just don't get it, man. I don't get it. Too many young youth doing stupid stuff, dying for nothing, shooting people over nothing. Because you live here, you said something about this. It's just, I don't know. It's the way that it's stupid to me. It's child's play. Don't bring that crap around where I live at. I don't care how gangster you are, how many bodies you think you got. I will end your bloodline. That's a fact. I don't do the whole gangster rap shit. I don't, because I know real violence. And what I'm capable of doing, like the shooting stuff, no, I will end your bloodline. And anybody who looked at me when I was doing it, they're gone too. I'm capable of that. That gangster violent rap shit doesn't do nothing for me.
I mean, does it surprise you at all? Real talk.
Mm-hmm.
Dirk is a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
This is not a aspiring rapper.
Yeah.
It's not someone who hasn't made it. This guy's worth millions.
Stupid.
Does it surprise you at all that he would put it all on the line?
Yeah, because he's stupid. Nothing surprises me with stupid people. And it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Like to risk all that, to be able to, you have enough money to leave that environment and you still want to be a part of that environment is stupid to me. Like, leave it alone. Why go back? Why be affiliated with these same people? You got enough to leave it. Wasn't that the whole, like, purpose to begin with? Was to make it out and you keep going back? That's stupid to me. So nothing ever shocks me with a stupid person, ever. But like I said, that whole gangster rap stuff, no, I will peel you and wear your skin. I shouldn't say that. That's messed up. I'm going back to the old me, man. See, I'm done. I'm good. I just don't, that's stupid to me. I don't get it. I think it's a bad poison on our youth, man. The influence that it puts on our youth. Everybody wants to be a gangster till you actually roll up on one. And the one who is the gangster, don't ever talk about it, don't got a mixtape. None of that. Most of the gangster stuff that's done is never talked about. And what you see on the outside is just what certain people allow you to see. So, I don't know. What's that line from Lil Wayne? He was like, I ain't a killer, but don't push me. Or who said that? I forget what it was.
Is that 50?
50 or somebody. Something like
that's
that.
not 50. I don't know. Somebody in the comments.
That's
I'm
the
sure
life I'm trying to live now. I'm not even a killer no more, man. I'm just don't push it. I don't do the gangster stuff and I live on this block or I'm from this block or you did something to this person that I knew. No, I'm not going to send nobody. I'm going to come see you. Simple as that. And I have no shame in letting nobody know about it. Like, no, but I'm smart and more mature now, but what's the point, you know? Wasn't the whole purpose making enough money to get out? And you keep going back. That's just stupid.
Now, the crazy thing is the feds got something like 230 gigabytes of digital evidence against this young man. 20,000 pages of reports. I mean,
dummy.
A lot of this could be hyperbole. You know, the media has a way of spinning stories and, you know, convicting you before you actually go to court. Yeah. But it damn sure sounds like it's a lot against this man.
Well, that means that, hey, he's a bad dude off the street then, right? Don't care how good his music was or whatever. I give a damn. But if he was really this bad person, then he's off the street. I mean,
well, to be, and I got to choose my words wisely here. to give him, to be somewhat fair, they're saying that he did this. It was this murder for hire because his friend, King Vaughn, was gunned down. And, you know, he sent the wolves, he sent the hitters after the dudes who took his boy out.
So I got to risk my life and my family's life because you were my friend? So I don't know. I don't roll like that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. In the streets, I don't know. Like, I got friends and they got problems, but I'm not finna lose my son because you got a problem. Be a man about it. Go take care of your own business. And if you get caught up, if that's the life you're living, you got caught up. You got hit. Isn't that like the nature of the business? You can play cards all you want. You're going to eventually pull an ace or a joker one of the times. It just comes with the deck. What am I going to get mad about? We chose this lifestyle. This is the lifestyle it is because we're friends. How close are we? You know, you're my friend and you got hit. Shit happens. It is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. Didn't we sign that contract? Like when we wanted to do this, it comes with the nature of the game. So what am I going to get mad about? I'm not even a part of that no more. That's like me getting mad because a U.S. soldier died and I want to go kill a Taliban member. I'm out the game. I'm out the game.
Well said. Well
that got
said.
to do with me. Yeah, I look at it like that, man. I can't, because you wear the same uniform. I got to hate him now. I got to go kill him now. I got to go risk my life because you died. You're at the war. You signed up for it. This comes with the business. You cannot get mad about it. I'm not mad at nobody because I've been shot at or because I lost friends. It sucks, but I don't hate nobody for it. I'm not actively going to go find Hodge or a Taliban or ISIS guy and go kill them. I got people who live down the street from me who look like they could have been over there. I don't go knocking on their door, shooting it up because you look like you're a part of that group and your friends killed person in my group. I don't know. I'm out the game. That's the whole point. Once you're out the game, you're out the game. You know? I can't relate to that. That whole cycle. I grew up around it. I still can't relate to it. Doesn't make any sense. I think that's a vicious cycle that I think as a people we need to step away from. It's a stupid, vicious lifestyle. And if you're getting pissed off or sad because your friend got killed and I feel that I have to go retaliate, that's just, I don't know. Child's play. That's all it is. And it makes you look cool for what, 5 seconds of fame in an orange jumpsuit? Or someone can say, oh, this guy did this, he's a badass. No, he's not. No, he's not.
Nah, well said, brother. Well said.
Get
Before I
the youth
let
out
you
the
up out of here.
stupid rap. I hate that. The youth gotta stop with the glorifying these people who ride around shooting up innocent people, doing drive-bys and thinking that's cool. Taking away children at young ages, never see the age of 21, 18 for that matter. That's not cool. It's not even about being cool. It's just stupid. It's just stupid because you get, I don't know, that mentality can fall along or fall upon the wrong person and they think that they live that lifestyle because they heard it on a CD and they want to test that theory out in the real world and come across people like me. Be the last thought you ever have.
What could drag you back into that world? What could anger Nick enough to make you say, yo, you know what? I understand all that I have to lose. I understand I'm out of this game. But now I'm back.
You touch my son or my wife, it's a wrap. Like I said, I swear on everything I love. You touch my wife or my son, I will end your bloodline. There's no stopping it. There is no stopping it. I will find everybody who you ever knew. Everybody. Yeah. And I'll make you watch when I do it. good luck. I can be a sneaky bastard. And I was really good at what I did. So good luck. But I'd make you watch it. And you knew I was coming for you, and there's nothing you could do to stop it. It'd be like MJ telling me, hey, I'm about to hit a fadeaway jumper on you, Nick. I want you to stop it. It don't matter what, like, I could do whatever I wanted to do. Michael Jordan is still going to hit that fadeaway jumper, and he's going to score every single time. And he's telling me I'm doing it right now. I can't stop it. It'd be a lot like that. I'm coming for you, and that's it. You touch my wife, you touch my son, yeah, you can say goodbye to a lot.
So for you, it's not good enough to just hit that person.
Oh, no. If I have to get back into the business that I was in and the person I used to be, I'm not just going to stop at one. No, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it. Yeah, 100%. I don't play with death. I don't play with death. And if you got to bring death back, then yeah. I don't play with death, and I don't play with yeah, it wasn't just me. I was around a lot of bad dudes at a bad time in war, and we did bad things to a lot of people. And the average American, there's stories, there's books you can read, but the stuff that is not talked about, the average person is not capable of putting in their mind and understanding like how bad it could really get and how no remorse is felt and how far a person is willing to go to find you if they want to and take you out in whatever way they want to. There's no stopping. Yeah, you couldn't fathom. People hear stories, but it gets deep. It gets deep. War is really hell. War is really hell.
You know, and that's such a strong, those were such strong words. I was going to close the interview out there, but I got to ask one more question before I let you up out of here.
Mm-hmm.
You have a hell of a skill set.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like that Taken movie.
Yeah.
Where the homeboy said, yo, you know, I forget what he said. He was like, I got some type of skill set. But why are you not in the business as an independent contractor? I'm sure there are government officials that would pay you a lot of money for what you do. There are contracts out there that you could have. I mean, security is a multi-billion-dollar business, and you're very good at it. Why are you not sitting back, collecting checks, and just choosing to be completely out of the game 100% when even as I sit here and I'm talking to you and I'm looking you in the face, I understand that you have a skill set that is desirable for a lot of people. I mean, the CEO of United Healthcare was gunned down.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think the market price for somebody with your skill set went way up to do personal?
Oh yeah.
Like why don't you do any of that stuff?
I get emails every once in a while, but the price guy would have to be right. And I don't know, I enjoy being at home now. I like writing books. To get me up and to put on all that stuff or be in that mindset again, I just don't have the desire to. The price would have to be right. But then again, the timing would have to be right too. I don't want to spend time away from my family like that, you know? I've been there, done that. It's whatever. I want to reserve those skill sets for when the time comes, which I pray they never do. You know, that's what I'm sticking around for. To get me up to do that again, something's got to be. My family's got to be. You know, their life's in jeopardy or threatened.
So it's not money.
It's not money. No.
This is this has to be more than money that motivates me to
Way
get
more.
back into that mindset.
Yep, way more. I think it takes a toll, man. It takes a toll on you. It can take a toll on you. And I'm chill now, you know? I like being chill. I don't like being the guy I used to be. I can switch it on, but I don't want to. It gets dark. It can get dark. It can get dark quick. And I know me. It's safer for me to be out of that game than in. It's healthier, safer.
And I believe every word of it. Nick, it is always my honor and my pleasure to sit down and have these conversations with you. I'm so glad that actually you're my first guest for the top of this new year, man.
Oh, wow.
And
2025's, man, looking up.
looking up, man. Like this conversation didn't disappoint. I love your perspective, and I just love hearing you go, because you give it up 100% raw, no chaser. You just pause on that, but you you speak truth. You speak your truth, and I love it, man. You're not sitting here worried about, how is this person gonna take it or how is that person gonna take it. It's my truth, and I'm entitled to it, and because of that, I so enjoy these conversations.
I appreciate you, man.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, brother, continue blessings, continue success, and just lots of love, man, coming into this 2025. And until next time,
Yeah.
peace and blessings, bro.
Same to you. We're gonna need it.
Absolutely, kids. See you the next time.